Listen, so I'm curious to see how this is working. I don't know how many of you have your own YouTube channels. There's like a new beta that they're doing right now. As I switch out over here, there's a new thing that they're doing with the live streaming, and I have no idea how it works. But it's a brand new screen. They have like a brand new dashboard, so I don't even know how to look up comments on my own videos and stuff like that. But hello to everyone who's on the live chat. Shout out to you guys. For those of you who don't know, every Monday I like doing something here on Let Me Explain, where I pretty much just live stream, answer you guys' questions on the chat, stuff like that. And that's it. That's all it pretty much is. It's just me this time around. I think tomorrow we may be recording another intercut. For those of you who do know, we also do the podcast, and we record a little bit beforehand, a little bit afterwards, and then the entire like hour-long podcast there. But that might be tomorrow. As of now, it's just me. I'll be answering some of the stuff that you guys have there. But in terms of some of the movies that I had checked out, because I haven't made those videos yet, and in terms of, I don't remember what last night's episode is called for Game of Thrones, but in terms of that, because a lot of people who watched last week's live stream, I know I haven't made the Game of Thrones video yet, but the last live stream that we had, I'm not the biggest fan of Battle of Winterfell, which ended up being The Long Night, not Battle of Winterfell. And then after episode 4, which I actually do like a little bit more, everyone just completely flipped on it, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about whether this last season of Game of Thrones is good or bad, and I was like, man, I said that last week, and you guys were yelling at me. But I had a couple of other videos that I'm working on, besides the Ted Bundy one, which I was able to catch last Sundance. It's out on Netflix now. I had a video I was going to make on that, but the thing is, I'm juggling between the Bundy video, the Intruder video, which I don't know how many people caught that, but it's like the new Fatal Attraction they come out with every year. Unplanned, Breakthrough. I don't even know whether I should be doing a Hellboy video anymore. Oh, shout out to anyone over here in the chat. Shout out to Sev Marvel. Did you get your Far From Home tickets? Not yet, which is, I know, is another thing people wanted me to talk about, because everyone's mad about Spider-Man now for some reason. I haven't gotten the tickets yet, but I don't think it's gonna like outsell like Endgame did, so I'm not too concerned about it. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I was talking about Hellboy, Under the Silver Lake. Some people had requested Silence and Black Summer. Other people had still wanted Sabrina Part 2, which is a crazy long series, and I was supposed to finish that. All American is even longer. That's like 18 episodes at an hour. There's also, what else? I guess Us came out. 5 Feet Apart. I still have a Roma video. Beale Street. There is, some people had asked for the How to Train Your Dragon, the full one, which I did record. We just never did anything with it. Russian Doll. House That Jack Built. Serenity, which if you guys have not seen, Serenity is one of the craziest, dumbest movies that's out there. Replicas, Isn't It Romantic? I did have the Surviving R. Kelly thing. I have a video on Fire Festival. I have a video on Bumblebee, Sex Education, Vice, Vox Lux, Life Itself, Bodied. What I'm getting at is that I have so many videos to work on, and at the same time I have nothing else coming out since I've just been watching the Game of Thrones for the recap that we're going to do. Shout out Cat Addict, as I see you right there. Someone said, why are people mad about Spider-Man? What I've been hearing is that with the whole not mentioning Uncle Ben, which makes sense to me because we already have a whole franchise that mentioned Uncle Ben. We already have we have technically two franchises that have mentioned Uncle Ben. And now I guess because they're trying to make Robert Downey Jr. or Iron Man, for a particular reason, if you haven't seen Endgame. If you also haven't seen Endgame in like 2 weeks, I guess you don't care for it. But I guess because they're switching it out, everyone feels like this isn't the Spidey they grew up with, which I think is just always going to happen. There's always going to be a Spider-Man just people don't vibe with. There's going to be a Batman people don't like, a Joker people don't like. Like, not everyone's going to be happy. And I think with the Game of Thrones things, that's kind of what's happening now. I'm of the belief that it's more on the side, clearly with the coffee cup that was just appeared, that it's just lazy, or rushed in a sense. I know that the creators at one point had said, we just don't want to be here anymore. Kind of shows, even though they are actually in the episode. I don't know how many people saw that cameo. But in terms of something like Spider-Man, something like Game of Thrones that goes 8 seasons, I heard people complaining about the death in Endgame. Not because they didn't think it worked. They just didn't want it. Like, I guess these people have never dealt with death in their life, so seeing it in one of their favorite characters that they've been following for like 10 years, that blew their mind. They just did not want to deal with death. Life's going to hit those people pretty hard. But I'm starting to realize that if something goes after a certain amount of time, it gains this traction. There is always going to be a divide. Star Wars, the DC stuff, and now even Marvel. Marvel came this long, and I would like to think with all the money that it's making, more people are on its side, but more people keep complaining about it. Same thing with Game of Thrones. So we'll see. Shout out to that one girl that does covers. Appreciate that. Someone said thoughts on The Good Place. I have not seen The Good Place yet. I've only seen a couple of episodes. I do know how the first season ends, so I don't know if that's going to spoil my enjoyment of it, but I haven't seen all of it as of yet. Let's see. Do a video about Clone Wars. I actually have way more Star Wars things I should be watching. I do want to do a Star Wars one for when December comes out. Do a video. Oh, hold on. If you haven't seen Endgame, leave now. You will be spoiled. Pretty much, if you have not seen Endgame and you're on the internet, you're just risking it yourself. What's your favorite movie soundtrack? That's a pretty dope question. I actually want to make a video on that. So I look behind over on the movies and see which ones that I have. In terms of the most recent ones, anything that Ryan Coogler does is incredible in my opinion. I think the Creed soundtrack is fantastic. I like Creed 1 soundtrack more than Creed 2 soundtrack. Now, if you're saying soundtrack, that's a little bit different than a score, which Mad Max Fury Road always comes to mind. I love the score to Carol more than I even like the movie. In terms of soundtracks, there's High School Musical, too. Yeah, I think Creed, Black Panthers are the ones that I'm still listening to this day. I'm trying to think of who else has a sound, like an original soundtrack. So probably, I'll probably just stick with those right there. Have you seen The Raid? Have you seen Let Me Explain? I talk about The Raid all the time. I have it right here. The Raid Redemption and The Raid 2, which is somewhere here as well, are the best action movies of all time, in my opinion. There's also another one that I also wrote notes for, little bullet points. I'm actually looking at it right here. The Night Comes For Us is on Netflix. So if you haven't seen the Raid movies, I'm not sure where they're streaming. Worth it, like to even just get the VOD of it or to go buy yourself your own copy. But if you want to get a taste of what these movies are like, check out The Night Comes For Us. That movie is also just as insane. But yeah, I talk about the Raid movies all the time. Why was Arya? I don't think she was. What about Aladdin? I will be catching Aladdin. I'm not. None of the. Now that you're talking about soundtracks, I guess none of the live-action Disney movies. I thought Dumbo was cute, even though people hated it. I don't see the point to the Lion King one or the Aladdin one, other than the Lion King one. If they do make a soundtrack off of that, and they have Gambino, I know Chance was in the studio with Hans Zimmer, so they can make something out of the Lion King soundtrack that I think will at least be something more original. If they do that, then I'll be really excited for that. Let's see. What about Barry? I am rewatching season 1 of Barry right now with my girlfriend, so we can watch season 2, and then by the time season 2 ends, I'm going to make a video for both. Roma or Children of Men? That's not even close to me. Children of Men all the way. Do Us, it is so goof. Oh, it's not that goofy. Are you down to see Aladdin, Lion King? Yeah, I mean, I watch everything. Like I said, I don't make a video for everything, but I'm pretty much watching everything. I've never heard you talk about them. All the Raid movies, anytime I'm talking about an action movie, I mention them. I can't be reviewing like a Christian movie and be like, this movie's good, but have you seen The Raid? But anytime I'm talking about an action movie, that's always my go-to reference. Do you think there's a chance for Iron Man to come back even though he's dead? I mean, Marvel ain't gonna kill their best character. I hope they don't. I get what you're saying. And again, Endgame spoilers if you're on the internet. The directors themselves, I think that's a whole video about spoilers that people want to have. The directors themselves practically said, hey, it's spoilers all the way. If you haven't seen it, sucks to suck. But I'm going to be talking spoilers because I feel like most people would have seen it by now. I really hope they don't bring it back. I hope he lives as the memory that they have him in the new Spider-Man movie. But I am excited for that multiverse thing. I didn't even think about the possibility of the animated Spider-Verse coming into play, but that would be crazy. Like when they get to that point where they're like, how are we ever going to match the amount of money we made with Endgame? How about we just have cartoons in there, which, as let me explain, I would love to see some animation with some live action stuff. At that point, Disney's just going to be like, oh, we're taking animated, we're making live action. Now we're just going to mix live action. They're just going to do a whole Roger Rabbit type thing. That would be pretty crazy. I do think that the multiverse is how they're going to introduce the X-Men. But if they try to get pretty crazy with it, I would love to see multiple Spider-Mans, not just Spider-Verse Spider-Mans. It would be kind of crazy to see a Tobey Maguire. It would be kind of crazy to see, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. I know a lot of people like Amazing Spider-Man, but to see him as well, that version, all three of them, could be crazy if they open it up. They did Missandei dirty and Rhaegal. Rhaegal, yes. Missandei, though, it sucks, but that's the most Game of Thrones thing that I personally feel has happened this season because I call him DJ Grey Worm now because for those of you who don't know, he's an artist. He does like R&B music. I want to say I listened to one of his songs. It's not like Braun. Braun does like some jazz stuff, and it's like, oh, did you know Braun does music? Cool. No, Grey Worm's real music is actually pretty good. The performance he gives after they, for those of you who haven't seen it, if Grey Worm doesn't kill everyone at that, like in the cat by himself, I don't know. But that was the best performance that dude has done the entire time. Shout out Juan Sanchez. Thoughts on gancitos? The food? The little snack? I'm not the biggest fan of gancitos. I'll be completely honest with you. I forget what the other bimbo one is, but the one that's like it almost looks like a little wheel and it's got the sugar on it. That's the one I'll go for over gancitos, my friend. Sorry. I'll take a pelon before a gancito. What happened to the Battle of Winterfell intercut? I need to finish the last half. I didn't want to make the video because I was like, what if I'm proven wrong, right? And I saw it again, and dude, there is a scene in the Battle of Winterfell where there's 5 guys on Brienne. Jaime stabs one of them. They do the close-up. When they zoom back out, not only did he kill that one, but the other 4 just disappeared. Like, y'all complaining about the Starbucks cup now, right? Dude, first of all, Jaime had a Starbucks cup. I don't know what other day. They're not even Starbucks cups, but he had a cup back in another episode. Dude, Battle of Winterfell, as much as I think it has some really cool shots, I'm thinking now that with that one, with this one, and whatever the next battle's going to be, I'll make a really quick video after this week's episode, like hopefully right after, and then on the last day of the finale, I'll try to get the Game of Thrones series, let me explain up, but dude, I've just been sitting with these episodes hoping that they have something in mind, but I'll tell you one of the things that I'm really banking on, not banking on, but one of the big points that I'm putting in the video. These 2 guys, D&D, as everyone's been abbreviating them because I forget it's David and whatever, or I don't know what their names are, but the 2 guys, Benioff and the other dude, they were on Jimmy Kimmel, one of the things, and they had pretty much said when they were asked, what are you going to do when the finale comes in? And they're like, oh, we're just going to grab our family and just dip. No one knows this location. We are just going to leave until it's all over. And it's like, what's all over at like 10:30 Central Standard Time? So if you're saying that you're taking your entire family and leaving until it's all over, these guys are practically admitting, and I know it's going to happen regardless of, but they know that people are going to go crazy. Like San Francisco winning the World Series for the 3rd time, like the Eagles when they won their championship, like people are going to go insane that they have to take their entire family to an unknown location for who knows how many months. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. What do you think of Disney Plus? I'm a big fan of it. I know people keep saying like, oh, it's not good. I know the whole merger with Fox hurt a lot of people, but I think that they have an ability with Disney Plus, like this whole other thing that they're creating, in where like the amount of content that's going to be made, like it's not just Disney Plus. Did you know Vudu? First of all, Vudu is owned by Walmart. Is starting its own streaming service with actual talented people. Like they're not making Redbox originals. They're making literal shows. Vudu. We thought Hulu, Netflix, oh snap, Disney Plus, oh DC's got Doom Patrol, and all these other, Amazon. Vudu. Crackle, Criterion has, like, there are so many different streaming services that the things that I've been doing, this whole like recapping, review, explain type thing, it's just going to get bigger. I said it before, I don't know how many people have known about it, but I believe that either Disney or Netflix or Hulu, one of the big 3, is going to see the entire reaction culture that's on YouTube, and they're going to try to recreate it. I'm telling you it's going to happen. They're just going to want to mimic. They're going to see how many people are making money, really was what they're seeing, how much traffic is coming from the people who just discuss their stuff, and they're going to be like, well, why don't we do something like that? It's kind of like The Talking Dead, kind of like Stranger Things had their own little version there, but something that goes into theories and explain videos and all that stuff. They're going to take, I mean, trust me, I've been doing explain videos since before they were the targeted thing, and now look, Watch Mojo does them, and the Wall Street Journal does them. It's just a matter of time before the people who are actually creating the content, Netflix, Hulu, start making their own. So I think for Disney Plus, I'm not that much against it. One, because it's going to have a bunch of good shows. I'm excited for the Disney Channel original movies. and I think it's going to create more jobs. I personally feel. Did you ever watch Fox's The Gifted? I have not seen that one, along with pretty much every ABC Disney show that wasn't on Netflix. Um, and there's also another one. It's not just The Gifted. The other one that was on FX, I didn't get to see either, but I heard good things about it. What's your favorite movie from each of your three uncles? That's a dope question. Let's see. I'm going to say clearly Children of Men for Coron, without a doubt. For Guillermo, I'm going to say either Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah, probably Pan's Labyrinth. And then for Iñárritu, Birdman is one of the first ones that comes to mind. But there's another one. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. I guess I'll just say Birdman. Even though... Yeah, I'll stick to Birdman. That would be the three from them. Let's see. Thoughts on Blinded by the Light. That trailer just came out. I should be watching yesterday at the Chicago Critics Fest. That's coming up. And then what's the other one that's coming out? It's like a trifecta. Like last year we had what won the Oscar? I'm already forgetting what it's called. Bohemian Rhapsody. And this year we have Yesterday for the Beatles. We got Blinded by the Light for Bruce Springsteen. We have Rocket Man is the other one that's coming out in May. I've seen one of them. I should have seen all three by the end of this year. By the end of this month. Blinded by the Light is cool. I'm not the biggest fan in terms of Bruce Springsteen, but the movie is corny cute. So I think there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to like that. But there's also going to be a bunch of Bruce Springsteen fans who are going to be like, wait, these were the songs you picked out of the entire catalog this man has? So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Not interested in more streaming. I have an antenna and loaded Fire Stick. Screw them all. That's the thing. That's going to be what's going to happen to a lot of people, is the idea that no one's going to be paying, what is it? Netflix just boosted up their stuff. So $15, $9 here, $9 there. HBO, Showtime, all those are separate as well. If you were to have every streaming service to watch everything, you're going to be well over $100. So it's like no one's really going to do that. And I think that's where these recap shows, recap YouTube videos, channels, stuff like that are going to get even bigger. But Netflix is going to want to make their own as well. Did you watch El Chicano? I have not seen it, but I have heard about it. And I saw what happened on Twitter with the director yelling, I think it was the director, yelling at a bunch of critics for not liking his movie to the point that he had to delete his Twitter or something. I don't know. I thought it was pretty crazy. I have not seen it yet, but I am very interested to see what goes on there. Remember when I won that Guess the Movie title from the Emoji Sting on that Intercut live stream? I can't remember, but if you did, I think we also told you to, if this was for the emoji things that Zach has, DM the Intercut one, because I want to know what your Twitter is. You saying you're going to partner up with Disney and open an A to Z show? Maybe. I just saw an advanced screening on Booksmart, and when it comes out, please review it. I already did. I saw it at South by, and a lot of people are really liking it. I think a lot of people are going to have that thing when it comes out, because they're calling it the female Superbad, saying, oh, it's not the female. It doesn't have to be the female Superbad. I see why it's called that, but I think it stands on its own. I'm excited for more people to see it. It's just really weird to review a comedy. Like, how am I supposed to make a joke off of the joke they already did? How much is your mic? I think this one's $150. It's the Blue Yeti. I definitely recommend it. Let me explain. Video for upcoming new Star Wars Clone Wars season. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's not out yet, but I would definitely check it out. Did you make an Endgame video already? Because I'm dying to hear your thoughts about it. Yo, I went up you with this. Oh, it's over here. When I went to go see it, I was in New York during that weekend. I haven't finished the video yet. I did do my thoughts, and there's going to be an intercut about it when we live streamed last week. But I like jotting down notes when I watch a movie. You can say that's corny. That's cool. I watch movies for a living. But I did not have any paper on me, nothing to jot notes, right? Especially for a 3-hour movie, I'm going to forget half of the stuff. They gave us these posters. I did have a pen on me. Boy just took and made the notes on this. So there you go. I don't know if you probably can't see anything absolutely in there. I wrote my notes in here behind whatever. I think there's like half of it got covered in teardrops when you know who went. But I am working on that video. It should be out very soon. Wait, what? Who are your uncles? My uncles, which this is pretty funny too. My uncles, I always say, my tíos, are Guillermo del Toro, Alfonso Cuarón, and did I say Iñárritu? Iñárritu. It's funny because some people get the joke. The other side is the two dumbest things I get every time I bring them up. One is I'm pronouncing them wrong. The Mexican. Oh, I always get told from certain accounts, why are you saying it weird? It's like, yo, go watch Hamilton again and think that you pronounce his name Miranda. The second one is that I've mentioned Guillermo being my tío uncle multiple times, and now people think like I'm a studio plant or something like that. Let Me Explain has been called a corporation, even though I record from my room. Uh, and I guess saying that they're my uncles, some people have actually believed it, and they really do think like I have the inside scoop, and I've already seen scary stories to tell in the dark. That's not true. They don't respond. They don't respond to me at all every time I text them. Thoughts on Dark Phoenix? Haven't seen it yet. Do a review on Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Probably not the trailer, the movie. I don't want to loop right here and release 47 videos on the same thing. Arrow is ending soon. Do you watch it or review it sometime? Well, that question just left. Maybe. That's just a lot of seasons to catch up on. Have you ever watched The Fresh Prince of Bel Air? Everyone's seen The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Yeah, it's fantastic. Best choice after Bucky? Thoughts of Death? Death to me is the best series on Netflix right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Ignore the rest of this live stream. It is the best series right now. After I end this, I'm watching it again. I'm watching the entirety of it again before I make the video. Are you going to watch the Black Widow movie? Yes. I've seen all 22. I'm going to watch that one too. Hey, Art, have you watched the OA Season 2? Thoughts? I have not seen OA Season 2 yet. I got to catch up on that. Sonic movie is going to be terrible. I'm excited for it. Like, people get mad when stuff is terrible. Even Game of Thrones right now, I don't think it's perfect. I'm having a blast watching. I'm having a blast seeing the memes. Even if this Sonic movie is complete and utter trash. Maybe it's because I'm not invested in Sonic, but I'm excited. Like, I get to make videos where I try to find some enjoyment in it. Even if you feel you've wasted your $12. What else did I get? You should do a video on some movies. I should, man. I really should. Who will sit on the Iron Throne if the throne survives? I keep saying it's going to be Sansa. We'll see. Have you seen The Best Offer? Not yet. Hi from Oklahoma. Shout out to you. Are you conservative or liberal? I don't, dude. It changes every single time according to other people. I really don't know. I get called both in every video. I don't get it. Check my videos. I guess it goes by whatever I'm talking about in that day. Sup? Examine 12 hours. Can't sleep. Rest in peace, man. Have a good one. Thoughts of It, Chapter 2. Again, haven't seen it. I'm more a person who likes... That's why I don't make the Let Me Explains until the movie comes out. So there's that. What's Death to Me about? Yo. First and foremost, go watch it. Just don't know anything. Just go into it. I will say this. Selling point. Linda Cardellini's in it. Incredible. Fantastic. Also, it's the darkest... So you know how, like... And again, I'm going to make a whole video on this. You know how, like, Parks and Rec has the civilians there, the townspeople, like, be complete idiots? Like, they're just parodies of... There's no way you've met people who are there at the city council. Like, they're just not real people. They're caricatures. This is a dark comedy where you'll see a church where they're doing, like, this dance recital type thing that seems so outlandish, and you're like, oh, this is goofy. They're making fun of it. And then you really pay attention. You realize, but this also feels like it could happen. That's how insane the joke is. It's the most depressing yet funniest show at the same time. I don't know how else to put it. It is incredible. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm just going to tell you go check it out. It's 1:23 in the morning in the UK. School's not important, right? It depends what you're going in for. If you're going to review movies for a living, maybe go to film school. Maybe don't. If you're going to become a doctor, you better go to bed, man. What was your favorite MCU movie? It used to be Iron Man all these years. I don't want to say because it's more recent, but Infinity War, I think, really wraps up a lot of the characters. And Civil War, any movie that's got war in it, I think, stands up there really highly. But I think I like Civil War just the way they're able to mesh up all the characters. And that's the same reason I like Infinity War. Being able to almost give better incarnations, better versions, better portrayals of some of the characters that have their own movies. And they're just side characters in this. Excited for Detective Pikachu? Yeah. It comes out this weekend. Yeah. Are you doing an LME on the CNN Apollo 11 documentary? Probably not, because there's not much I can do a Let Me Explain on for a documentary that's just shots. Like, that's a movie you got to watch. But I did give it a mention in my Sundance video. Are you ready for the Candyman movie? 100%. I'm ready for every movie. That's why I have a YouTube channel covering movies. I just love the fact, even if they're bad, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see why they did the things that they do. But that one is one that I am actually excited for because I'm very curious to see what he does with a franchise that he says he's was like huge to him, huge inspiration. I heard they're making Sonic better because people don't like how he looks. That sucks only because they're gonna get a bunch of artists to have to recreate. Like, I don't think they're gonna get paid the same amount that they should be getting. So the person who's getting screwed over, the people who are getting screwed over, are all these animators. That sucks. Best scene in Endgame, without a doubt. Thor, not Thor, Captain America getting the Mjolnir, I think is how you say it. Thor's hammer, fantastic. What do you think about Brie Larson? I really like Brie Larson. I don't like her interpretation of Captain Marvel, or at least how they're marketing it. I think they're doing not the best job. And I don't even think it's a terrible character. I just think for the hype that they've given it. Like, imagine someone hyping up a burger. I don't want to call it a burger because I don't want to get called out for that. Imagine hyping up, I don't know, like this piece of technology. And then, like, you get it, and it's not as fast as people claim to be. But that price tag was up there, and the marketing and everything was over there. Think of, like, the folding phone, right? This is the first folding phone, and then people are like, yo, it's cracking in, like, one day. I think they did her dirty. I personally think that the way that they rushed her story, they did her dirty. Shout out Matt Harris. Appreciate that very much. What did you study when you were younger? So originally I went in to be, I mentioned this a couple times, to be a teacher, a special education teacher. And I did teach at a school. I then took a couple film classes. And then with this, really what I want to go back into is marketing. A lot of the success I think that we've had has not, and for any YouTuber really, isn't just the content. That is huge. But I think it's how you market yourself. I see a lot of people making great stuff. Trash at marketing and pitching their things and making sure it's out there. It's just the truth. That's one thing that I think I would want to go back into, marketing. And it would be really cool, I've been saying this, to go back into school and like not have to worry about the job that comes afterwards, because they hold that so much against you. Like, you go to school to learn, and then what happens? They're like, oh, you're not doing well with this. It's like, well, in art, like, how can you be judged in art? It's like, oh, you didn't, your message here didn't go all the way through. You gotta go talk to the counselor, or else he's not gonna help you with the job afterwards. And it's like, to have the afterwards security and going back to school just to learn the craft, I think is really cool. I missed your recommendations of the month. Well, I am going to be bringing them back over here. I had mentioned before that I want to do, and I'm going to have a whole video explaining what's going to happen with the ATZ. But if you've seen some of the live streams, you know that one of the big things we want to do is making more shorts. So instead of like a video essay, which I feel are dying a little bit more and more, or at least I feel they're getting stale and I wouldn't really want to work on one, I want to make it more like a mini doc instead of a video essay. And I think the best video essays are almost mini docs. And going to a bunch of film festivals, I have seen things in competition that are literally mini docs. So that's one thing that I want to do with that, and do more short films, produce more short films, direct more short films, and then have the monthly recommendations come back over here. Oh, shout out Diana Becerra, or maybe it's Diana. Video on Insecure. I do want to make one on Insecure. There is actually an A to Z video where I am mentioning Insecure, and it plays like a really big part. Explain Endgame. I will. Do a video on the series Quicksand on Netflix. I have not heard of that one. What are your thoughts so far on Spider-Man Far From Home? I think it looks cool, but we'll have to wait and see how it gets delivered. When's the Clone Wars video coming out? When Clone Wars comes out, you got to put Chase back on the chat. He will. He's just going to edit a video right now. I think so. I think he just came out of a movie. He came out of, I just mentioned it earlier, The Intruder, because that's the video he's going to help me on. He not like it, but that's going to be an interesting edit for him. Have you seen Chambers on Netflix? I saw like half an episode, so I still got to watch the rest of it. Thick boy, shout out Ryan. Chill right there. Explain how Howard the Duck was fighting in the third act with his bill, bro. Are you going to explain Endgame? Yes, sir. Have you done any short films? And if you have, where can I see them? On the A to Z show very soon. Why spend energy on hating, being overly critical on some of the greatest achievements in popular culture when we have 12 years left to live? I don't know where you got that number, man, because my number has come out to at least 13, 14 years, but I kind of see what you're saying. If the volume's too low, well, I got to like one more minute over here before I got to go edit some stuff, but I didn't know you streamed. Yes, if you don't know, I do stream every Monday. Tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday, we also do the Intercut live stream, and that's where I got a bunch of other people who come and hop on with me, and we do the podcast, which then gets edited and uploaded to intercut.com. Not intercut.com, Intercut on YouTube. And then we also have the A to Z show.com, where we have a couple people who are going to be writing for us. So there's definitely that. Check out that. I ask you one last one. Anyone has any Netflix shows, movie suggestions, because I can't find anything good? Well, Shelly, let me tell you, dead to me. So good, I had just mentioned it already before. So good that as soon as I end this, I have to finish some editing, but I'm going to go straight to rewatching all 10 episodes. It's a 10 tight, I think like 30 minutes each, Linda Cardellini's in it. Christina Applegate, I think is her last name. Kills her performance. So you know how like I'm blanking on her name. I'm being disrespectful. From Hereditary, some of y'all, Toni Collette from Hereditary, easily gave the best performance last year. Without a doubt, gave the best performance last year. Got snubbed. Christina Applegate, I don't think anyone's beating her. I don't care what you're acting in. Broadway, you'd be acting for the White House. I don't care what role you've taken. I don't think anyone is beating Christina Applegate. And then it's Linda Cardellini for this show. Dare that to me. Definitely check that out. On that, thank you guys for checking out this live stream. As always, you may be watching this in the future. It gets archived. But join the live chat. Every Monday, I try to do a live stream. And then on Tuesdays, we try to record Intercut Podcast with a couple of other people. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. A couple of videos coming soon. Until then, I'll see you guys later.